Alrighty guys, another weekend, another junkyard. Now this junkyard is north of my house. Have to return here because I need some door moldings for a 92, 93. Lesson learned that 90 and 91 Honda Accord has different door moldings which are thicker than 92, 93. So my friend Matthew up in Michigan needs a complete set of 92 to 93. Now I believe this yard has 4, maybe 5 CB7s, and this is the same yard that has the Honda Prelude. So let's go ahead, check out those Honda Accords and see what's left on the Honda Prelude. Currently, I took shelter in the back of a Mazda 6 with a missing door. Anyhow, as you can see, there's a passing shower that's coming through here. I don't want to get soaking wet, so I believe the Weather Channel says this is only going to last an hour. So I'm going ahead and check my phone and check for updates, and hopefully the shower passes through so we can get to work. And the rain is just about let off. And I want to give a big thanks to the Mazda 6 for giving me shelter in this hour rainstorm. All right, let's go ahead and see what's in the yard. Okay, I don't know if you guys remember a few weeks back on this white Prelude. So let's go ahead and see what's been done to this thing. Now, last time we were here, only the transmission was removed and the H22 was still intact. But however, it looks like the H22 is now here on the ground. And here's what's left of the motor. As you can see, someone grabbed the main crank and the pistons and rods are still in there. And the oil pan is obviously gone. And surprisingly, the head is still intact right there. Usually the heads are yanked off at the yard. And of course, someone has already grabbed the VTEC solenoid right there. And this T-bracket's no use because this is an automatic T-bracket. So if you wanted to get yourself an AC compressor or an alternator, it's easy pickings right there. And there's the timing side of the motor. Let's go see what's left of this Prelude on the inside. All right, looks like someone has violently ripped off the front fender. And the driver's side seat is surprisingly still intact. However, someone grabbed the passenger side seat. And that's all the changes I've seen on this Prelude. This Prelude's been in the yard now about 3 weeks. So the yard vultures weren't too harsh on this car, but yanking that motor out's pretty crazy. Now, one thing I might grab is this top timing cover right here. Because I actually cut a notch in mine, so having a spare would be nice to have. And these things are hard to come by. So I'll go ahead and grab this cover right here. 1993 CB7, looks like a light brown color. Front fender's been snatched off, and most of the engine is intact. And it looks like the passenger side window has been shattered out. A little bit of debris on the floor. Center console cover has been removed, and someone has yanked off the instrument cluster. And for whatever reason, the glove box is sitting there in the driver's side seat. Well, there's your center console cover and a door panel. A little bit of parts and debris on the floor. You see how close these cars are together in this yard? That's one thing I don't like. And the rear bumper cover has been snatched off already. And someone has also grabbed the driver's side front fender. And for whatever strange reason, someone has already undone the top hinge on the door. So the door is basically just hanging off on one hinge. All right, guys, never mind. Check this out. Got the gauge cluster here, 138,000 miles. That is actually pretty low for these cars. I'm shocked this is in the yard here since this car is unwrecked. Not much here in the back seats, and a book called Never Satisfied. Now, one thing I need on the 92, 93s today is I'm looking for driver's side front and rear door moldings because the 90, 91 has thicker moldings than 92, 93, just an FYI. Now, the issue we have here is how close this car is to the other one. Plus, on top of that, this door is only held on by one hinge, so I might pose some issues of getting that door molding off. So I'm gonna go ahead and check out some other CB7s and see if they got better spacing between. So let's go ahead and see what they got. 2005 Acura RL in dark blue. Now, let me go ahead and show you guys what's going on here. Obviously, the front wheel's intact. But as you can see behind that front wheel, no brake caliper. Let's check the other side. Driver's side wheel and tire, no brake caliper. So basically, when this car was in processing, the workers pulled off the wheels and tires, removed the calipers, and put the wheels and tires back in place. So everybody knows those calipers are worth some good money. 1993 CB7 Accord beige sedan, renters from Winchester, Virginia. Rear end is unwrecked. Looks like there was a spoiler in place. Inside seems to be really clean, and this really smells nice inside here. Someone took care of this car. A little bit of personal belongings still in the seat. Let's go ahead and check that mileage. 206,000 miles. Sadly, it's automatic. Radio is gone. Door panels are not in bad shape. Driver's side looks to be pretty straight. Missing rear wheels. And engine looks to be fully intact as well. And the passenger side is in good shape as well. Some more various personal belongings, some debris on the floor. Floor mats are gone. And we got some Listerine there. Anyone want some mouthwash? And this car is in not a bad shape right here. And they got perfect working space on the left and right side. Because over there in the other parts of the yard, these cars are all clustered together. And it's hard to open doors and work in between these vehicles. So, and this right here is the perfect situation because I got so much working space on both driver's side and passenger side, unlike the other side of the yard. And on top of that, this Accord CB7 is in perfect condition. So what I'm gonna grab from this CB7 is the driver's side front and rear door moldings, and also the air intake tube in the engine bay. So let's go ahead and get to work. Okay, so some parts I decided not to grab. So let me go ahead and show you guys what the imperfections are. Starting on this air intake tube, it looks like someone did a patch job right here on the top. So I'm gonna go ahead and leave this behind. I'll find an original air intake tube that's not damaged. And then the door driver's side moldings, let me show you the imperfections. So right here on the driver's side front, as you can see, this thing's peeling away. I don't know what's going on here. And then for the back door molding, you got this damage right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and leave these things behind. I mean, you're doing a restoration on the CB7, you want some perfect parts. So let's go ahead and check the other CB7s. 1992 CB7 sedan, looks to be DX trim. Rear end is mostly intact, not much damage besides taillight. A little debris and trash in the trunk area. Looks like I got some sun faded rear seats, and the OEM floor mats are still in place, shockingly. Yeah, it's definitely DX trim. Got the crank handles right there. Driver's side door is a little stiff here. Wow, the OEM floor mats are still in place. They are badly faded, but they're still there, and heavy stains on the passenger side. Got an old school Kenwood cassette player. And this car is 164,000 miles. And taking a look at the trim here, see how this trim is cracked right there? So I'm gonna go ahead and pass on that. And the molding on the front door is separating right there at the seam. So definitely gonna pass on these two areas. Let's go ahead and check the engine bay. Now, however, the air intake tube looks like it's in great shape. There's no patch job on the front here. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab this air intake tube right here. Passenger side front fender has been removed. Doors look to be in okay shape on this side. And my friend Matthew is also looking for some OEM hubcaps. I'll go ahead and show you guys other ones. Yeah, that hubcap's in rough shape. Definitely pass on that. And the rear hubcap's in rough shape as well. Definitely pass on this one. '91 Champagne CB7 Coupe. Looks to be EX trim. Has alloy wheels and the sunroof. Rear window has been shattered. Bunch of miscellaneous debris in the trunk. It is unwrecked back here. Rear quarter panel window is hanging off. Got the burgundy interior going. Sadly, it's automatic. Old school Kenwood CD player. And this car is 169,000 miles. This car just arrived at the yard, so this is mostly intact on the interior side. Front end is mostly here. Got a little bit of damage right there on the hood. Check the engine bay real quick. Looks like there's some aftermarket intake tube, but not for this car. However, the engine is mostly intact. Nothing's been removed except for the battery. Looks like I got a shattered front window right there in the bottom corner. You can see that laminate just peeling away. However, there is damage right here on the front driver's side. A-pillar looks like it was struck. And that door is basically just warped. And I don't know if someone did this at the yard, but bent that window frame downwards. And also on the driver's side, rear quarter window is hanging by a thread right there. A lot more damage here on the back end too. Okay, the only thing I'm gonna grab from this car is my friend Matt in Germany needs some interior screws. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove all the Phillips head screws on the dashboard trim. So let me go ahead and pull those things. All right, turns out on this gold CB7, this one had the best driver's side moldings. So I went ahead and grabbed the driver's side front and driver's side rear door moldings. And now as I was walking through the yard, I found this sweet Marlboro red bag in the trunk of a car. So this is kind of tall in height, and I'm actually able to put parts in here, and you can sling over your shoulder so you can keep your hands free. So I'm gonna go ahead and clean this thing up, and I don't believe the yard charges for personal items. So I'm gonna go ahead and clean that thing up when I get home, and this will be my new yard bag for parts. 2001 DC2 Integra Coupe in silver. Bumper cover's been pulled off, and just look at that rear bumper mount. That thing is just rusted through. And surprisingly, spoiler is still intact. And someone was pulled off the dashboard, put on the roof of the vehicle, and seats are gone. A bunch of leaves and debris on the floor right there. Sorry, can't tell you how many miles this thing has on it. Front end has been totally stripped off. Fenders, front bumper, headlights. Valve cover's gone. However, most of the engine does look like it's intact though. And seeing the solenoids right there, sadly it's an automatic. Rest in peace, Integra. These cars were epic. 2003 Toyota MR2 Spider in dark blue. The engine and transmission has been totally yanked out. Let's go see what's in the interior. Looks like the interior is just a bunch of clutter and parts jammed in there. And look at that, guys. Heavy front end collision on the driver's side. Let's go ahead and walk around the passenger side. And just look at that, guys. Heavy passenger side impact. Wow. I hope everyone's okay in this accident. This one's a bad one. Rest in peace, MR2. These things were some fun cars. What a morning it's been, folks. With all that rain that came through early this morning, had to camp out in that Mazda 6. Anyhow, here's our score that we did for the day. We got a CB7 air intake tube. And then on the H22, I got a lower and upper timing covers since my lower one's damaged. And then the upper one, I did a notch out. So just in case, these things are discontinued anyways. And then I got moldings for the CB7 doors. And on top of that, I got this sweet Marlboro Unlimited backpack case or whatever it is. I mean, this thing's got some height to it, so I was able to put the moldings in. But basically, this is gonna be my new parts bag for junkyard hauls. So you can sling this over your shoulders, put your parts in there, and still have your arms free for carrying your toolbox around. All right, let's go ahead and pack up the car and head home. Alrighty, guys, that wraps up another junkyard tour video. On top of the Accord CB7s, got to see an Acura Integra, Acura RL, in that badly wrecked Toyota MR2. On top of that, got this sweet Marlboro cigarettes bag, which will now become my junkyard parts bag. And also got the correct door moldings from Matthew up in Michigan from 92 and 93. And if you guys like these types of junkyard tour videos, please give me a thumbs up. Thanks for watching and have a fantastic day.